everybody. So we've had 1 week of 6 group classes, which went fine. No masks. And now for this week, I want to just say what you need. You're going to sit between our heels. For those of you who need some books or pillows, use them, maybe a strap. And if you have a sensitive knee, always a towel. So begin by being upright, comfortably upright. Just take a few comfortable yoga breaths so you become aware of your spine, ground your sitting bones, maybe close your eyes, and your elbows in. And allow the breaths to move in and out naturally. You become aware that you relax your body. Become aware how the breath comes to the front of your body, the side, the back of your throat. Slight resistance. You begin to calm the mind and integrate your mind and your body once again. Slowing down. And then the first breath is actually quite energetic. If you can sit on your knees, sit on your knees. If not, stay on your cross-legged or put a foam or pillow between your sitting bones and your heels. So it's one of those Kundalini ones, and if you can do it fairly fast and loose, it really raises your energies. You're going to do it for quite a while, probably about 60 times or so. You can have your palms together or loose. You should breathe in, it's a back bend, tummy in. And then slightly bending your elbows. Maybe bend your spine a bit more once you loosen up. Tummy in when you go back. Don't speed up, speed up. Stay relaxed. Last 10. Now you feel that energy flow. It's really a shift. So you can stay like this if you prefer, or come into a child pose or Eastern praying position, perhaps separating your knees a bit. And feel the energy flow in your body and relax totally. Flop your wrists, shoulders rounded. Just allow your body to settle, your energies to settle. Pressure of your neck. Another full breath. I'm going to do a bit of a neck exploration, one of those osteopath ones. So if you want to sit cross-legged again, it might be easier on your foam or pillow. And you're going to hold your left shoulder down with your right hand firmly, but stay upright. And then you could put your hand underneath your firm, or you can just bring your hand down so that you keep your spine long. It's almost a bit of a resistance as you press your shoulder down and press your left hand down. Now in that position, you're going to do a twist to the right, keep that shoulder down, and tuck your chin, lift. You're going to explore the stretch every which way. You could make circles, or just diagonals. I feel it a lot on the left side, where it tends to be tight. So just slowly move and feel the stretch on the left. Keeping the shoulders down, spine long. Might hear some crackling. And then bring your right shoulder to your right. The right ear to your right shoulder, keep the spine long and hold it where you feel it. Decide where, or if you want to keep moving, move. Another 5 breaths. And then release. I'm going to do the same the other way around. You may want to change your feet. Keep your right shoulder down, spine long, tummy in, and again, twist, side stretch, tuck your chin, lift your chin, explore, hopefully feeling it on the right side now, holding the right shoulder firmly down, every which way, getting to those scalenes on the right. And then maybe hold it where you feel it's sort of beneficial, where it's effective, without collapsing. Whole body awareness, breathe. Hold that right shoulder down firmly. 3 more breaths. And release and roll your shoulders a few times. And then slowly imagine that somebody's pulling you by the crown, keeping your shoulders down. See how far you can rotate and hold it there. Keep your chest back, but extend into the crown so you don't do that. Carefully come back, the same to the left. Finding your alignment. 2 more breaths. Come back to center. We're going to do 2 hip stretches. Oh no, first you're going to do another chest opener and then 2 hip stretches. So sit on your heels, and if you can't, always come up. As you breathe in, tummy in, chest up, head back, lift your arms. As you breathe out, come right onto the tip of your forehead and extend your arms higher, but keep your shoulders back. Bring your inner knees together. Repeat that a few times. Navel up, chest up, head up and back, arms up, straighten the elbows, tummy in, and release. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Chest opener. Last one. Separate your hands and for a moment come into the child pose and release totally. And then the 2 hip stretches. And the first one, both of them well. It's a warm up. you bring your right foot a little bit down, put your left ankle against it, and see if you can not do this, what I'm doing now, bring your foot in line with your sitting bone, chest up, resist particularly with your left knee, and keep extending, resisting with your arm, and I feel it strongly into that left buttock, hip region. Try not to collapse. Other way around. Pushing your right knee away, try not to lift off your sitting bones. Keep your navel, collarbone up. Push your right knee away. Three more breaths. For a moment, just release into a forward bend of your choice. If you need to bend your knees, bend them. Always chest forward, sitting bones back, elbows close to the floor. Rotate the thighs slightly in. And just take a few breaths as you let go. Opening and lengthening your back. Now the next one is the hip stretch. Some of you may have to take your one lower leg in front of the other, but if you can, do it the way that I usually suggest. And it's very different for different people because of your build. This right leg is parallel to your body. So the left here, unless you really, your knees so high that you need to, but it tends to come down a little bit, most of us. So bring your chest up, press that knee slightly down, shoulder back. Just get to that left hip, sort of where the femur goes into the iliac, the hip joints. And if you feel you can come forward, in stages, some of you can go all the way down and slide comfortably, I can't, but slowly release, press your sitting bones back, chest forward and shoulders back. Allow yourself to ease into it. It's not a natural position for most of us. Another 5 breaths. It's quite normal if your hips are screaming. Mine are. Other way around. Parallel. And see if you can press up without pushing your chest out. One side may be different than the other. Slowly pressing that right knee down actively. And if that's enough, stop there. If you feel you can come forward, slowly come forward. Use your exhalations to ease into that. Another 5, 6 breaths. And always tight again every time I do it. It needs to go through the process. Just release your legs and do your rotations. And point and flex a few times. We're going to do a simple sequence on your back with the breath, which is at the same time a shoulder stretch, but it's also a back bend. So come onto your back, release your back. So find that neutral back, release your shoulders. Quite important to just find a neutral back so you're not flat into your waist, or too hollow, find that in-between position so you can spread the sacrum and the contents. And take a few breaths to do that, to release your lower back consciously. There's a lot of holding there, often unaware of it, most of us. So instead of using a block, we bring our palms together, cross the thumbs, and slowly as you breathe in, come up, and as you breathe out, arrive, perhaps keeping your elbows slightly bent. If you can, keep the fingertips on the floor or your hands, and then as you breathe in, roll up, keep the mount of the big toe down, the outer heel down, and as you breathe out, as high as you can, keeping the back of your head grounded, don't drop your chin too much. And as you breathe in, roll back, without widening your knees, keep the mount of the big toe down, and as you breathe out, come back to your starting position. So that's what you do for a while. In, up, as you lower back on the floor, center your feet, so don't widen your knees, come up on the inhalation, higher with your hips towards your knees without widening your knees on the exhalation. Without dropping your chin, slowly roll down as you breathe in. Keep your knees parallel, and as you breathe out, come back down. And you really want to feel your spine, your shoulders. Center your feet, don't go on the outside of them. Inhalation, come up. Use your core. Inhalation, come down. Find your own rhythm with your breathing tempo. Don't come up yet. Tighten the buttocks and you come high enough. Keep the big toe down. And feel your shoulders independent of your trunk. Moving with the breath. A few more times. All the time you're breathing in and breathing out. All the time you're breathing in and out. Feet centered. Perhaps a bit higher. Down on an inhalation. And next time you're going to come up, you're going to hold it for 6 breaths, the bridge. Keep your alignment. Down on inhalation, keep your arms above you as you breathe out, and then move into an inverted stretch. Lift your heels, straighten, go an inch or two, and then release your arms. And roll your head from side to side, loosely. And then we're going to do knee mobilizer, which actually means you're also going to stretch your hamstring. So you may want to bend your left knee, and as you're very supple, then keep your left leg straight. And so you can take hold of your foot, and if you need to foam under your head, it might help you. As you breathe in, begin to straighten, and it's really about mobilizing the knee. If you can't straighten, if you can't. And as you breathe out, bend. Now, if you, like I said, if you supple, then release the left leg. Keep your back released. Begin to extend and bend, keeping your leg aligned with the right side of your body. Begin to feel your calf and your hamstring in the back of your knee. If you can, resist and pull with your hand and your leg. But if it's a struggle, don't. Twice more dynamically. You can increase your range, keep your back released. Now the next time you're going to stay there. Work at it, release your left leg, keep your shoulders down, don't hunch. Press the center, the top of the back of your head down if you like. Whole body awareness. Make it 5 more breaths, reach into your heel. So you may really get there. So of course do it the other way around. Slide your leg down if you find that you can. May feel different. Keep your back released, centered. Twice more dynamically. And then stay there. Find this leg is tighter. So it takes some more work. Whole body awareness, release your back and reach into your heel. Five more breaths. And bring your knees to your chest and circle them. Every which way, you can do figure eights. You get to the whole of your sacrum. You want to massage your lower back. Again, it's a lot of holding. You're not always aware of. And quite a strong twist, quite an effective one, getting to the piriformis. The right leg is straight. Your left foot comes maybe lower than your knee. My leg seems to go more or less, prefers to go where the outer right knee is. And then lift your left hip and put your right hand onto your left thigh. Now you extend the left arm, so bring the hip up. Now you want to try and roll your head slightly to the left, and if you can, get both your shoulders down. Not always possible. Slightly bending that right knee might make it easier. Use your exhalation to release, roll your head slightly to the left. Your right shoulder will be down. Try and anchor the left. Allow the left hip to come up. Keep your elbow on the floor as you rest your arm onto the left thigh. So it gets to that whole piriformis, gluteus maximus area actually. Use your exhalation to release. Breathe into the belly. It takes a while to shift, so you're going to stay there for a bit. Whole body awareness. Release your back. Another 6 breaths if you can. Feel the shift. It's always about creating more space. Create a lot more space on that left side. So now we're going to do the right side. Left hand onto your right side. Extend your right arm. If you find it easier, I find it easier bending that left knee a little bit. roll your head to the right without showing the chin up. And so you can really bring the right hip up. My right knee doesn't go to the floor, but it will get closer. And keep both your shoulders grounded if possible. And breathe into the belly and allow gravity to help you relax into it. Whole body awareness and relax. Stay with the breath. Once again, see if you can do it another 6 breaths. And if you can bring the left elbow on the floor, it will be your shoulder will be more relaxed. You can feel that if you'd stay there longer and would do some more work. Then come into a lying down butterfly, release your arms, maybe your feet a bit lower. So you now, instead of doing that internal rotation, do the external rotation of the hip. And just take a few breaths as you release your back into a more neutral position, particularly your lower back, your shoulders. Five more breaths. So your hips have had quite a nice warm up so far. I'm going to do a bit of shoulder and forearm strengthening. And that's the dolphin. And often do the dolphin on its own, but we will do it now. So you come onto your forearms. And as you breathe in, try and keep your forearms parallel. Come forward as you breathe out, bring your head closer to the floor and resist. In other words, push forward with your forearms. Breathing in, bring your shoulders over your elbow. Breathing out, look towards your thigh and your knee. So your head is just above the floor. Push your sitting bones up and your heels down. Don't have a lot of work on your shoulders. If you need to come down in between, do so. Four more times. Pull your thighs back, your heels down. And then bend your knees and for a moment release into Eastern Prayer position. Take a nice deep breath or two. The next one is not anything to do with your shoulders, so you can continue. You may want to use a firmer book. Some of you might want to go down. It's important to have you, so if you want to sit on a firm, sit on a firm, to have your foot back. When I was practicing this the other day, my knee collapsed. It was the lower end of my yoga career. I did some fasted medialis exercises, which of course can be weak, and it was fine. Collapsed in this salute to the sun. So it's what I realized. It's important to have your alignment, and that this muscle can get weak. So don't take your feet out because then you haven't got the alignment. Sit on a foam or have one leg straight if you've got a knee problem. And if you can go back, watch that you don't go too far because I think that art is art, much preparation. You have your one hand in the other. And allow this stretch to happen. It's very good for runners. It's a knee stretch. Maybe close your eyes and just take some nice, deep, relaxed yoga breath. Feel the shift, slow change. It's a more mindful breath. You're not lifting, but you're releasing your sitting bones that extend into the crown. Probably need to sit there another half a minute or so. Probably find that you can ease into it a bit more. I find that I can ease into it a bit more. It feels more comfortable now. We'll do 10 more breaths. Good, now the words just to come out of it always. So carefully, you lie down here. So you can stretch one leg at a time so that the blood flow goes back into your knee region and maybe your calf. Pressing your heel back. Opening it up. And then the other way around. And then I always rub my knees a little bit. The blood flow eases back into it, because that's all that's happened basically. Okay, now we're going to do, before we stand up, some spinal rolls, or Pilates rolls if you only want to go as far as your shoulder blades. You can have cross-legged. If you have a sensitive spine, put a blanket underneath your towel. Inhalation, you come back. Exhalation, come forward. Stay centered and only go as far as you feel you can. Keeping your neck aligned. Of course, if you do cross-legged, you have to cross them the other way around at some point. And then do a few forward flops. loose. That was fun. Bend your knees if you need to, or just release. Sitting bones back, chest forward, shoulders wide. Allow your breath to settle. Slightly rotating your thighs until you keep your alignment. 3 more breaths. I'm going to do one that I have forgotten a bit about, and that is the moving squat. So if you're going to do the moving squat, which you haven't done for a while, with the breath, slowly come up on the inhalation, down on an exhalation. All the time you're breathing in, come up, still on your toes. All the time you're breathing out, you come down, your heels only touching the floor by the end of the exhalation. Feel the space around you, particularly behind you, and see if you can integrate the movement with your breathing tempo. Whole body awareness, slowing down, moving into space, strengthening your ankles, keep the big toe down, without leaning back. Nice, deep, comfortable breath. Takes you into a gentle trance. Finding your center, staying upright. Keep going. Strengthen your knees, try and keep them aligned. That's probably the last one that I'll do next time. May help to fix your gaze. We're going to do a simple sequence now, which is a chair and a chair twist, forward bend, and Tadasana with the breath. So center, as you breathe in and as you breathe out, with your feet and your knees quite together, come into chair, sitting bones to your thigh, and then come into the chair twist on the right side. As you breathe in and breathe out, back into chair, sitting bones to your heels, and then come into a forward bend and breathe out into it. Come back up into Tadasana on an in and an exhalation. Chair, thigh to your heels, chest up, chin down. Chair twist to the left, left shoulder over the right. Come back into chair on an in and an exhalation. And then release into a forward bend and stay there as you breathe out, dropping your chin, shoulders back. Back to upright, keep your arms down and center. Come into chair on an inhalation. Contract the lower trunk, lengthen the upper. Twist to the right, extend into the crown. Back into chair, thighs to your heels. And slowly release into forward bend, dropping your chin and your head and shoulders back. If you can, straighten your knees. Come upright into Tadasana. Back into chair. Twist to the left as you breathe out, stay there. Back into chair. Contract thigh to your heels. Forward bend and breathe out into it. Into Tadasana, arrive. Keep going at your own tempo. Feet open. Always an in and exhalation each posture. I'm going to go to the left this time. Twist to the left, chair twist, back into chair and forward bend. Find your own breathing rhythm as you come back into Tadasana. moving with the breath. Very calming if you can do it with the breath, getting into a flow. And then stay into a forward bend, perhaps separate your feet a bit. Either fold your arms, pull your shoulders back, allow your head to hang. If you need to, always keep your knees bent and center your feet. Nice deep breath. Come up as a rounded back, brace your tummy muscles, reach into your feet, the 4 points, reach up, try not to lock. We're going to move into the dancer, balance. We're going to do the dancer, so balance on your right leg. Slowly bring your arm up, come from the upright dancer, tummy in, pushing your foot into your hand. You can press them into each other, you can resist. Find your center, maybe keep the standing knee a little bit bent, chest open, and then come back up, other way around. Upright first, tummy in, chest up, push your foot and your hand into each other. Watch that your foot doesn't go sideways in your knee, but backwards, so it's a half bow. And if you can, slowly come forward and down, and find your position where you can manage. Hold, breathe. Maybe for a moment release your back, particularly if you've got a sway back or a stiff back. And then we're going to repeat it. Pushing back, tummy in, chest up. Keep your arm light. Whole body awareness. Engage those abdominals to protect your lower back. Other way around. You'll find out which is your weaker leg. Feel that elegance, that lightness of the dancer. Resisting with your hand and your foot into each other. Pushing your foot away from your lower back. Releasing your back in between by coming into a forward bend. Last one of right and left. Keep that whole body awareness. And then come into forward bend to release your back totally. Allow your head to drop, shoulders back. And come closer to your legs with your trunk if you can. Maybe pulling yourself closer. And another inverted stretch. And then we're going to get to our calves. Notice how tight my calves have been. And I think it's often the strengthening exercises of yoga that do that. Okay, so we're going to do the calf stretch at the door or a wall or a cupboard that you find. The one foot behind the other and both your feet face forward. Make it quite a large step. So watch that your back foot doesn't face outward, which is the tendency. And support yourself with your forearms, you can release your head. Bring the front knee closer to the wall and straighten the back knee and press into the heel and alternate pressing into the ball of your back foot and then into the heel. Although you don't shift the foot, you just emphasize the pressure on the heel and then on the ball of your foot. You'll feel how that affects the calf. Keeping the front knee moving to the wall. Straighten the back knee. And it takes a while, but it begins to slowly release a bit. Calf, back of your thigh even, and knee. So work at it. Keep it moving from heel to ball of your foot. Other way around. Resting on your forearms, making sure the one foot is behind the other. If you don't feel it, make it a larger step. And press the front knee towards the wall. And press into the heel and alternate and press into the ball of your back foot. Whole body awareness, keep it going. Allowing the calf to slowly loosen a little bit. Feel the stretch. And then slowly come out of it. And you're going to move into a triangle, a regular triangle. You could use, as I'm doing, your heel against the skirting board, and then from there into the revolving, rotating triangle. So do the screwing of the jaw with your feet. So the front hip comes slightly back and the back hip forward, and the same with the thigh. Open out, extend into the crown. Keep your legs slightly active, but your knees soft, and breathe into the belly. And slowly rotate, keeping the feet active. Either your hand on the inside of the underfoot, on your shin, and bring your right hand directly above your shoulder. Mine is a bit too far back. Or if what I'm doing now, which works actually very well, taking the right hand in your left waist, palm facing out, then extend into the crown. And you really rotate the trunk more. Extend into the crown, feel the twist from the tailbone into the crown. And push up, and you're going to do it the other way around. Large step. Do the screwing of the jaw. Press into the big toe and the little toe, another way of doing it. And open out. If you can, look up. Rotate the front thigh out, back one in. Breathe into the belly, your knees are soft. And broaden your back. If you're stable, look up. Radiating literally, and then slowly rotate. Either your right hand on the inside of your left foot, on the foot, on the thigh, on the knee, shin. And so you can rotate and put your upper hand in the lower waist, palm facing out, to get that extension into the crown and a further rotation. Breathe, whole body awareness, strong in your feet. And for a moment come into wide-legged release, forward bend. And you're going to do it again, and maybe do it freestanding or to the regular triangle, radiate, open out, whole body awareness, breathe into the belly. And do the rotation. Feel the spine. Other way around. Left foot forward. Back foot slightly in. Screwing off the jaw if you like. Radiate into your hands, your feet. Keep your knees soft. Look up. Without throwing your head back. Mindful of the whole of your spine. And slowly rotate. Keep your equilibrium. extend into the crown. If you can, take your upper hand into the upper waist. Come into a child pose just to release your back totally, your shoulders. Always allow everything to soften in between. Back to symmetry. And then we're going to do the salute to the sun. We haven't done it since the 1st of August, so nobody can complain. It's time that we get back to the sun. We've done a lot of moon stuff. So do it in your own breathing tempo, your own version. There are different versions. Start with Tadasana, center, feel the feet. As you breathe in, come up and back. Forward bend as you breathe out, perhaps bend your knees, stepping back with your right, and then your left leg into plank. And then the palm in the air, lift out of the shoulders, dog with your head up, dog with your head down. Step forward with your left foot into a lunge. Come into a forward bend with the whole of your head and your trunk to your legs. Come up and back into a forward bend. Stepping back with your left and then your right leg into the plank. Pause. Caterpillar as you breathe out, dog with your head up. Extend, dog with your head down. Stepping forward as your right foot to the lunge, forward bend as you breathe out. Slight back bend to reach up and then center. I think you all know it, I don't need to say it anymore. Find your own rhythm with your own breathing tempo. Greeting that sun, masculine, logical brain energy. Connecting with that fire energy. Loosening your joints, that's what the sun salute does. Make sure you lift out of the shoulders when you're in the dog with your head up. Keep going with the breathing flow. For some of you, you get your heart rate up a bit. If you need to slow down, slow down. getting into your own rhythmic pattern. You must be getting closer to the end. Usually do 8. Unless you're over 72, you can do 7. But I can't check you, so some of you might be cheating anyway. You're going to come onto your back and circle your knees. Release and catch your breath. So just circle your knees, settle your back, catch your breath. Smaller and larger circles. You're going to do some hip stretches which will lead to a final posture. And the first one is what they call half happy baby posture, and it warms up a bit. You take both your hands around the right leg, keep the left foot on the floor a little bit away, and you need to resist so that you can get the knee on the floor. I've got my knee on the floor, but I tell you, the first time I tried it this morning, it wasn't on the floor. And I always warm up a little bit before Kim comes, and now it is on the floor. You engage the adductors, you press your arm in. Again, this is a bit of a warm up, and we do the same. So you resist, push your foot into your hand to your foot. Engage the adductors and keep the opposite hip and shoulder down. So you get the femur more grounded. So you do need to push up and back down. You need to resist both ways. As centered as you can be. Be surprised how it responds. So we can do that again. You want to keep your pelvis level. Engage your adductors and push and pull. Stay as centered as you can. Pressing that elbow in to your outer right leg. It will help with the next postures. Engage the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, and then once more the other way around. So you can repeat it on the other side, resisting with your foot into your hand, both your hands into your foot. Bring the left arm in. Keep your hip and your shoulders grounded. Breathe. Keep resisting, so your knee might come onto the floor. Even if it doesn't, you feel it. Keep the pressure up. And do an inverted stretch, lengthening, and then for a moment release your arms, your shoulders and your hips. Allow the back to settle, your tummy to soften. We're going to do a wide-legged sitting position so that we work still into that hip region. So if you need to sit on a firm, sit on a firm. Toes pointing up as wide as possible, coming up as you breathe in. Fold over your right leg as you breathe out. Come back to center, fold over your left leg as you breathe out, and then in the center. It should be easier to get to the center after that half baby posture. And keep going like that, dynamically. Toes pointing up. Swiveling your hips so it works into your hips again. And maybe the last sequence of dynamic. And you come back to the right side. You're going to try and ease into it now. Make sure your feet are as wide as they can. Press your sitting bones down, chest forward, and if you can, release your head and elbows closer to the floor, toes up. You tend to roll in your feet, keep them pointing up. Use your exhalation to surrender, and if you can, release your head to the inside of your right leg. Breathe, whole body awareness. Facing the left side to the same, might feel different. Ease into that resistance, slowly. Whole body awareness. And then come into the center. Either take your hands to the inside of your feet or come into the center with your arms extended or your forearms on the floor. Keep your toes pointing up. Press your sitting bones back and bring your chest forward. And I can see that it's easier for me now after that happy baby posture. Just doing it a few times. Breathe and release into that. Relax into it if you can. Then bring your feet together and release into a regular forward bend for a few more breaths. We're going to get again to those inner groins, back bends. You may need a pad for your knee or a towel for your knee. You come into a lunge position with your right leg forward. And then see if you can take your left knee as far back so you're not on it. Your right elbow just below the knee and catch your back foot. Now if you're on your patella, which might look like I'm not, but I'm not, then bring your arm up or keep your elbow against your knee or thigh. Chest up, tummy in, and you get quite a groin stretch and even a quad stretch on the right and left. Triumphant, I call it victory. I know a lot of you find it difficult, so do what you can, do half of it. Breathe. Keeping the front foot slightly active and centered. Other way around. Front knee over your ankle, the back knee far back or on support, so when you bend that knee, you're not on it. Not on the patella at least, you're on the thigh just above it. Either your elbow on your left thigh, or if you can bring your arm up, chest up, push your foot into your hand. Dropping your hip more if you want to get a deeper stretch. I find it helpful to fix my gaze. I'm going to repeat it. The second time will be slightly more effective. Keep that front knee centered. Press into the foot. And then if you can, bring your arm up and your chest up, do so. Slight balance. Other way around. Last time on the left side. Either keep your forearm onto your leg or bring your arm up, zip up your tummy and drop your hip. If you can, push the back foot into your backhand. Triumphant. Victory. Nice feeling if you get there. For a moment, release into a counter stretch. Always let go of any tension and settle the muscles if you need to. Now the next one is a strange forward bend. You do what you can. You bend your knees slightly, your feet are hip width apart. And then you try and take your arms your shoulders behind your knees. They don't really want to get there, but partially. And then drop your head and press your shoulders and your arms into your legs, inward. And then bring your sitting bones up, and you get stretches in different places. Release your head. So that's a warm-up. Now we're going to go to that one we did quite a few classes ago. You bring your one leg forward, push your toe on the floor, and you press your calf and your knee forward, and then try and get your shoulder behind it. You usually can do it on one side and press the hand flat on the floor. The other side, as you see, I can't, but I get it as close as I can, so that the legs are going to press into the shoulders, lean forward. You can keep your toes on the floor, so you just get the first stage. If you can take your feet together and lift them off the floor like I'm doing, then you're actually balancing on your arms. I suggest some of you do the plank if you don't like the idea, or do the butterfly. You don't have to do it. It's just for those of you a bit more adventurous. Okay, we're going to try it again. So you can bring your toes up and then bring your shoulder behind the one, and press your calf forward and bring the other arm down, even if your shoulder doesn't fit behind your leg. Just keep your hands on the floor initially and lean forward, and then wriggle your feet closer. They can still stay on the floor, and if you can lift like I'm doing, you need to lean forward and then lift your feet just off the floor and bring them together. And you have an arm balance, a new one. In the end, you need to get the legs straight, but you won't even go there now. Just come into forward bend and forget about it. Or do it again. Reset the button if you're more adventurous. Some of you will be. And release totally. Okay, we're now going to do relaxation. On your back, we're going to do a breathing exercise, a mindful one. So if you managed to lift off in the previous one, your heart rate has gone up a bit. You're going to now go and do relaxation, breath, very slow motion. So if you need to put socks on and tops, if the weather's like today, not likely to. And then come onto your back with your knees slightly bent. And your arms a little bit away. In fact, I would have my palms facing down. Release your shoulders. And your feet not too close. The natural distance apart. So your heels are aligned with your sitting bones, your shoulders released. And if you need to firm on your head, always place it there. And just take a few breaths to find that neutral back. So that you don't have too hollow a back, not too flat one. Your upper back is released, your sacrum is spread, your feet are open. Shoulders can drop. Feel the weight of your skull. Just take a few breaths to find that neutral back. You're really spread down and comfortable and as wide as you can be. Now as you breathe in, once you're settled, lift your right foot and your left arm just off the floor, literally half an inch will do. And slowly, all the time you breathe in, extend them until the back of your hand is just above the floor. Your arm and the back of your leg and your heel. Stop changing. Slowly, all the time you're breathing out, it works much more into your core. Come back to your starting position and arrive at exactly when you finish your exhalation. Next time, only begin to lift when the other arm and leg are released. Slow motion all the time you're breathing in. And as you turn to the exhalation, slowly come back and see if you can get the pace exactly right. So it's all about mindfulness. You can close your eyes. It's a comfortable, natural breath. Feel it extending. And then coming back home, literally contracting. Give it all your attention. Slight resistance at the back of your throat. Fingers slightly spread. See when you do slow motion how much harder you have to work. Facial area relaxed. let go of everything else. Your mind is really focused on the breath and you feel it. You experience emotion. Extending and contracting. A lot of movement in your body is always that, extending and contracting. That's how the life force likes to work. You feel your body, feel the breath, feel the movement. One more sequence. Become aware of space, spaciousness within you, around you. And then slide your feet down, just release them. Lift and drop your shoulders, release your knees, ankles, your feet away from the midline, maybe your heels a bit wider. Lift your arms and release them. And connect the thumb and the index finger lightly. And shift your head for a moment, maybe lift it and replace it. And then allow your body to sink into gravity. Consciously allow it to drop. It's like you let it fall in your imagination. So the connection with the back of your body and the floor becomes more intense, more noticeable. As a result, you feel more secure. Soften your throat, belly. Become aware of that subtle frequency of your cells, which are alive, within and around you. This gentle tingling frequency of aliveness, a buoyancy, a sense of radiance. Natural breath. And see if you can become aware of the gaps between your thoughts. Create that empty, expanded mindset or witness state. Dropping into a deeper inner silence to affirm your true nature. Becoming timeless, beyond space and time as you rest in your consciousness, pure consciousness. Filling yourself with a sense of gratitude and peace. Just resting in that spacious sense of wholeness. Part of an infinite intelligence that pervades you. If you need to settle your features, maybe yawn and relax the half your facial area, including your tongue, throat and your eyes. Stay in a sense of timelessness as you allow your mind to flow as to music and consciousness. Slowly bring yourself back to all the sensations in your body. Begin to inhabit your body mindfully. And then open your eyes. Perhaps circle your knees or roll onto your side. When you're ready, come back to an upright position. So I think it was 24. Can't believe it. It is 24, yes. I don't know what the weather's going to be when you get this later this week. It's beautiful now, and if I were you, I would be outside. Maybe do yoga outside or work in the garden like I've been doing. Perfect weather for gardening. Don't worry about your places. Some people worry that they won't get their places. It's very difficult to know how many classes we open next month. It depends. There will be less. But we'll try and fit you in the classes that you need to if we open 2 more spaces. Have a good practice. I have a feeling that this is kind of the right length, not too long. It's not too difficult except for the last one, and I've given you other options. Thank you. Have a good week. Namaste.